Hello everyone, welcome to the Shards project, the making of the materials and lights, and we will look also of the compositor uh, and other few interesting things that went into making of the project that you see in this demo. If you want to see how the geometry nodes were set up, check the link in the description or the one that just appeared here on your screen, because this video will look at like I said, the materials and lights. And unlike most of my projects, this one has a very simple materials. So if we look at the shards material, diamonds materials, if we look really close, you get this result. But everything is basically a principal BSDF with this color that you see here, and the roughness decreased and transmission pushed all the way to 1, and alpha it's a little bit down to 0.7. I also activated backface culling and alpha hashed for the blend and shadow mode. Without those, you basically lose the transparency. You also have to go into the settings and activate this refraction. If you want to do any glass material, you have to do that. I activated the bloom and ambient occlusion, as you can see, but basically this is it for this shader. And we have another shader here for the ground, the one that you see here behind the scene. And this is important to catch the shadows that create this very interesting pattern that it's even more interesting when we look at the animation. And for that, we also use the principal BSDF with this roughness, and in order to cancel out the lights, I kind of turned off the specular from 0.5 normal to 0. So this way we don't get the reflection of the lights on the floor. So the materials, like I said, are not complicated, are really simple. Everything is done by lights. So let's turn off the lights here and look at this one. We have the background. Without it, we have 0, but with it, we get these nice reflections and a little bit of light. This is this HDRI that is taken from HDRI Polyheaven, actually. So this is it for that one. And for this project, the most important light is this one. This one is creating these interesting shadows on the ground. Also gives life to all these shapes that you see here. And the point of all the other three lights are just to lift everything a little bit and create some depth by adding some shadows, and also to light up the background, the floor. Otherwise we get this not so nice color. So the way I did that was by playing a little bit with the colors of these lamps. Actually, the one in the back has these nice lights. The other ones are pure white. And in conjunction with this one, we can kind of get this very nice result that you see here. What we see in this project, I'm going to quickly show you. We have two cameras. So if we switch to the camera mode, we have one side camera that has a depth of field added, and that depth of field is controlled by this empty that you see here, this one here. And then we have a top camera that has no depth of field. So the animation was kind of easy. I took the side camera and I parented to this empty, and then we have this empty z-axis animated, and that's gonna give us this motion that you see here. Also, the way to switch between one camera and the other, I showed you the lot of videos. You have to create a marker. So you can press M here in the animation and you get a marker. And when you select your camera, make it active by clicking on its icon. And when you go here back and you can press Control B, and then you get this binding. So Control B is the shortcut for that. So let's delete this marker. And that's kind of the most interesting part of about this. I want to show you quickly the compositor. In the compositor, I created the vignette that you saw in the demo by creating this mask, ellipse mask with this blur to soften up the edges. So let me quickly render a frame. So now that we have a frame to look at, here I'm going to show you the vignette mask. So the mask looks like this, and then I blur the edges, and I got that. And the way to control the darkening is by taking the original image, and the one we see here, and passing through exposure node to get something slightly darker. And by mixing those and using that mask, we get this vignetted result that you see there. I also added a little bit more interest by using this glare node that emphasized this glow that we have here in the middle. And the way I did the transition between camera changes was using this preset node that has this setup here. I'm going to show you so you can see it. You also find it in the project file on Gumroad. So this is so this is the preset for the fade in, fade out setup that I used to control the camera transitions, and I also used it to fade in at the end and fade out at the fade in at the beginning and fade out at the end of the project. And the image that I used to create this effect was the defocused main image, and that created this effect that you saw during the demo. So this is it for this project. It was a lot of fun for me to make. I hope you'll have a lot of fun with it also, be it by downloading it from Gumroad or recreating it on your own. If you get stuck, don't hesitate to contact me on YouTube or on Twitter, and I'll be glad to help you.